Guys, I don't ever, or this is the first time ever that I've done a video like this, but I feel this is imperative because there's somebody out there in the world today that needs to hear this testimony. January of 2011, I was diagnosed with multiple sclerosis, which is, if you look up, you'll notice that it's an incurable disease. It's a life-threatening disease. It's a disease that's debilitating. And it has debilitated me to some extent. But I'm still able to walk, and I'm still able to drive my own vehicle. Although I do suffer from other things from this disease. But over these past 7-8 years, I have spent many times in the hospital. I've spent many times where I couldn't get out of bed. I've spent many times where family and relatives had to help me and had to be there for me when I couldn't do things for myself. This whole time, my family and I, and people that know me, we have held on to God's healing hand. I've stood in many prayer lines. I've been anointed with oil and prayed for and prayed over. I've spent many a nights and days and hours on my knees praying. There have been times that I asked God why, because I think we all want to know why. But my family and myself, we have done our best to give God the glory for this disease, because I have an incredible testimony of how my feet were anointed at a revival and prayed over and prophesied to and told that I was going to be set out on an incredible journey. Well, today, folks, I've got 3 neurologists and plus the MS clinic in Atlanta that has treated me over these 7-8 years. Not to mention the countless physical therapist, dietitian, telling me the foods I need to eat and so on and so forth, and all the outreach programs for multiple sclerosis. But today, my neurologist here in Dalton, Georgia, he looked at my latest brain MRIs and cervical MRIs, and the lesions that were there and on my brain and on the cervical area of my spinal cord, he says they're not there anymore. And if you study multiple sclerosis and you study the lesions, once they've appeared, they don't go away. They're there for life. And today, my neurologist told me, he said, "Mr. Bullock, it's as if you don't have multiple sclerosis. The lesions are gone." He said, "You can barely see them. They're like the end of the tip of a pen." And that's a credit to God. Folks, that's a credit to, if you will stand firm, if you will go get in prayer lines, if you'll be anointed with oil. God says in the book of Hebrews, let the sick come before the church and be anointed and prayed over by the elders. If you're in a church that doesn't believe anointing and praying over with oil, go find you one. Find somebody. Find people that will pray for you. If they won't pray for you, go find the ones that will. Get on your knees and pray. There is a God. He is real, and He is a healer. And I hope that there's someone out there that's listening to this, if you've got cancer, if you've got diabetes, no matter what your health problems, you hold on to God's unchanging hand, because He can heal you and He will heal you. Just give Him the credit and the glory that He deserves.